Happy Friday, 2 minutes in the box with Gordo. Today we are recapping last night's games. The St. Louis Blues are back to this nostalgic, 6 years ago magical run. Feels like it's the 1980s with their pop culture references. Cal McCarr, match offers, Ovi, rumors, and preview of the light night tonight of 3 games. Okay, let's get to the first games of last night, shall we? First games. So Montreal Canadiens, 4-1 blowout against the Boston Bruins. It's no surprise. The Boston Bruins, it's so hard to find them deep, deep, deep down the Atlantic. Oh, wait, I see the Titanic and I see the Boston Bruins. Boy, they have sunk very, very deep in this very vast of a desert of an ocean. Boston Bruins, man, you guys have just increased yourselves a better odds of winning the lottery. It feels like 1997 all over again for you guys. Hopefully, this one stays, not like the way you traded Joe Thornton away to San Jose and you got nothing in return. And Joe Thornton, so basically, at least you got a Stanley Cup Boston. Joe Thornton, he should have gotten one. All right, so make sure you keep this lottery pick intact and he's there for the longest time. And like your coach, you should have kept Jim Montgomery, and that's where you get because you're like dead last in the East. All right, Montreal, no surprise. Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki, just unreal. I gotta tell you, Nick Suzuki is the first Montreal Canadian to reach 80 points for an individual since Alexei Kovalev 15 years ago. I gotta tell you, 26 goals for Suzuki and 55 assists. This dude is magic. I mean, I can't believe Vegas traded you for Max Pacioretty, and then, I mean, Vegas, you got a Stanley Cup. I mean, man, you guys suck when it comes to keeping prospects and draft picks, and you just want to spend money to keep those attractions going, but you lost a franchise player. Just good Lord. I mean, just good Lord. But Montreal, though, you kept your playoff chances alive. You're still second in the wild card. Boy, howdy. And speaking of the Atlantic Division, the Tampa Bay Lightning lose a very crucial game against the Ottawa Senators, 2-1. Ottawa, on the other hand, has indefinitely increased the wild card one spot. I mean, Shane Pinto's been playing well. And Tim Stutzel, Jake Sanderson, just simply wow. I know Tampa Bay fought hard in the second and third period, but Ottawa, they're going back to the playoffs for the first time in almost 8 years. This is unreal, unbelievable. All right, now we go over to the Colorado Avalanche versus the Columbus Blue Jackets, and congratulations to Cal McCarr becoming the first 30 goal scoring defenseman since Mike Green. Unbelievable. And I'll tell you, Nathan McKinnon, dude, he is MVP. He's Sidney Crosby with a right-handed shot. And this loss for Columbus, though, it's really hurting their wild card chances and a feel-good story run. It's about to come to a close, but there's still a little time left. But McKinnon's got 82 assists this year, 83 assists, I should say, 83 assists with 31 goals. 114 points. That dude is on fire. Nathan McKinnon is definitely on my MVP radar for the Hart Trophy. This is a superstar. Nathan McKinnon is just simply wow factor right now. And we go over to the Pittsburgh Penguins against the St. Louis Blues. The St. Louis Blues do it again. 11 in a row, 5-4 overtime victory. And I would like to also congratulate Rutger McGarty from the Pittsburgh Penguins getting his first goal, first assist in the NHL. He was a former first round pick by the Winnipeg Jets, and Rutger McGorty, I should say. So Rutger McGorty, he is a former first round pick by the Winnipeg Jets, born and raised in Lincoln, Nebraska. His father coached the Lincoln Stars of the USHL, played his college hockey at the University of Michigan. Didn't want to play in Winnipeg, but definitely wants to be part of this Pittsburgh Penguins squad. But I'll tell you, losing to OT, and I'll tell you, Robert Thomas, 20th goal in the season. Jordan Kyrou, he's underrated. This St. Louis Blues team is dangerous. I would hate to be the top teams in the Western Conference to play against this hot team. And the St. Louis Blues, ever since the Four Nations Cup, post Four Nations, 17-2-2. 6 years ago, they were dead last in the NHL, and they rallied. They got everything back together. They played Gloria. What a hit song in the 1980s. That was a great song, and it's crazy to see that a song from 6 years ago. You know, it's unbelievable. You know, it's crazy to see Laura Branigan, Lauren Branigan song 6 years ago, Gloria. What a hit. What a hit. And now you've got Jabu. Jabu, the, what was it? Oh, yeah. Jabu is the bobblehead that was in the movie. What was it? Oh yeah, Major League. I mean, this nostalgic 80s run. I mean, this is great good luck finding. You got Laura Branigan's Gloria Love, and now 6 years later, you've got Jabu from Major League. I mean, just crazy to see that a 17-2-2 team in the St. Louis Blues, they are creeping on this wild card in playoff. I mean, you've got Lauren Branigan and you've got Jabu. I mean, this is a 1980s nostalgic way of seeing things. I'm like, wow. Gloria, Laura Branigan, and then Jabu from Major League. I mean, just wow. This St. Louis Blues team is magic. And I could see them making it to another deep Stanley Cup playoff run. This team is special, and they have a lot of magic left in that tank. And Jordan Binnington is turning back the clock. And as I said before, this dude is a blue, and he is the heart and soul of this team. He is a natural treasure. All right, now let's go back to recapping last night. The Nashville Predators against the Dallas Stars. No surprise here. Dallas Stars creeping up on that Central Division. 5-1 victory. No surprise. And Mika Rantanen, he's become the third fastest player to reach a milestone in 700 points by a Finnish hockey player. He's got Jari Kurri. He's in the class of Jari Kurri and Teemu Selanne. I mean, I'm amazed. This is amazing to look at here. It's amazing. I can't believe it. This is one of the coolest things. You know, I mean, look at this. Third fastest. Jari Kurri took 483 games. Teemu Selanne, 541 to get to 700 points. Mika Rantanen, just simply an amazing player. And this Dallas Stars team is on a mission to go deep in the playoffs. And now you got Utah Hockey Club against the LA Kings. LA Kings definitely got their lead in second spot in the Pacific Division. Utah's playoff chances are slipping away. And it's a damn shame, though. I would have loved to see Utah make it to the playoffs, but it's too late. It's just too late. And we go over to the Calgary Flames and the Anaheim Ducks. The Anaheim Ducks are officially eliminated from the playoffs. Calgary wins 4-1. Quick goal by Nazem Kadri, 16 seconds into the game. And this squad is definitely ready to be like, they're making progress. This Calgary Flames team's making progress, but I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs or not. But this team, they've got a bright future with Dustin Wolf. A very, very bright future in Dustin Wolf. Just simply wow. And this Calgary Flames team, they have a lot of motivation. They are hungry. I wouldn't be surprised that they might be a wild card team in the near future. I mean, there's a lot of parity in this game, but in the NHL, there's a lot of parity and there's a lot of unpredictability. And meanwhile, we've got the Winnipeg Jets and the Vegas Golden Knights. No, what a blowout game this was. Winnipeg maintains the lead in the Central Division for nothing shutout victory against the Vegas Golden Knights. And looking at the numbers, a shutout for Eric Comrie, and Shifley played well, and Lowry played well. And this Winnipeg Jets team, this team is definitely going to be a troubling, dangerous team in the playoffs. Vegas, I mean, tough loss though, but one of those nights. But Edmonton Oilers, though, winning a big 1-3-2 regulation against the San Jose Sharks. Leon Draisaitl is out. He got out of the game. He was injured. I bet he re-injured a certain injury he had, but it's a darn shame. And now we go to a light night Friday night. So we only have 3 games on the dock. Carolina Hurricanes against the Detroit Red Wings, the Washington Capitals against Chicago Blackhawks in Washington, D.C., and the Minnesota Wild in Long Island against the New York Islanders. And the Ovechkin record-breaking watch is on watch right now. And Wayne Gretzky is officially traveling to the remaining games that the Washington Capitals are hosting and watch Ovechkin break a record that no one thought it was going to be broken. But Ovechkin, he is getting close to that certain point that he is going to break Wayne Gretzky's all-time goals record of 894. He's got 892 right now. He is getting close. And I'll tell you, Ovechkin, he is going to be scoring from his office. And I got to tell you, I pray to God it's not an empty netter. If Ovechkin breaks Wayne Gretzky's all-time goal record and it's an empty netter, oh God, that would be the lousiest way of breaking the Great One's record. That is stupid. I mean, I would like to see Ovechkin go bar down and pop a water bottle and destroy the bottle and the net and the painted glass, but not an empty netter. For the love of God, no empty netters. Do the unthinkable. Go bar down, let the puck break the water bottle, pop the bottle, and destroy a painted glass and netting. No empty netters. Don't tap it in, Ovi. Rip it as hard as you can and break not only Gretzky's record, a painted glass, a water bottle, and some netting. Ovi, do the right thing. Don't do a Happy Gilmore tap-a-roo. No way. We do not want that. All right. So let's get to the rumors and the news, shall we? All right, so here we go again. We've got the New York Rangers and the Detroit Red Wings trade talks. Last year, I don't know if you guys remember, but if you cared, but the Red Wings are in talks of making a high-profile move for an offseason trade. And, remember last year, Jacob Trouba was supposed to go to Detroit, and Trouba denied it, and it got really ugly and stuff. But I gotta say, this Detroit Red Wings squad, the window of opportunity for Stevie Y is ticking, and I don't think it's Stevie Y's fault. I blame it on ownership. Ownership won't let Stevie Y do his thing, and Ken Holland also kind of botched the Red Wings for Steve Yzerman to build. I think there was a lot of insecurity and jealousy and power, but I see that we're going to see some unique circumstance and stories and plots of trades in this upcoming offseason. And we got a story of Patrick Waugh scaring his player Anthony Duclair. And I gotta say this, I'm siding with Patrick Waugh. Patrick Waugh is a hard coach to play for. I like Duke, but he's been very underwhelming for the New York Islanders this year. I know he's had a groin injury most of the year, but I just gotta say, I just don't think he's gonna come back. You know, I feel like, something's going to be crazy next week. Frozen Four crazy. If Boston University either loses in the semifinal Frozen Four or wins or loses in the national championship game, Cole Eiserman will be an Islander. I believe he will be ready, and I think it'll be a dangerous 1-2 with Matt Barzell or whoever on that line for the New York Islanders. And Jamie Benn, his 374 consecutive games have streak has ended officially. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it is officially ended. And I want to go back to Cal McCarr, congratulating him, becoming the ninth defenseman in the NHL's history to reach 30 goals in a season, the sixth player in the NHL's first defenseman since Mike Green of the Washington Capitals, who got 31 in 08 and 09. And it's a good accomplishment list. It's a good accomplishment. And, you've seen Paul Coffey do it. You've seen Al McInnes do it a couple of times. Just an impressive resume. I mean, just impressive indeed. And looking at Cal McCarr, it's just like, wow. Just impressive indeed. I tell you, it's one of those things that Cal McCarr is a special player. And for years, I made that mistake years ago saying that he was a draft bust. Where did this guy come from? Like I wasn't expecting him to be this good of a superstar. And I was wrong. The pundits and the scouts were right. This dude is special, and I believe that Cal McCarr is going to be not only this, he's going to be one of the best defensemen in our generation, today's game. And let's get up to match offers. Oh, yeah, match offers. I got to say this, guys. The Edmonton Oilers are haunted by this, all right? The Edmonton Oilers, they're the reigning Western Conference champs. And they are haunted by losing two top players who are the top prospects in the restricted free agency. And I'll tell that was a big mistake for the Oilers not matching Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg. Those two have made a huge, immediate impact for the St. Louis Blues. And the Blues are going to the playoffs. Philip Broberg, that man is unreal. This year alone, he's got a very good positive plus minus 8 goals, 20 assists, 28 points in 64 games. But this dude is just unreal. All right. This guy plus minus is just through the roof. And now you got Dylan Holloway. Dylan Holloway, oh my goodness. Another successful plus minus. He's been playing so much better with Jim Montgomery as coach. This season for Dylan Holloway's first year with the Blues, 77 games played, 26 goals, 37 assists, 63 points. Boy, Edmonton, you really screwed this up. And some advice to certain teams like the Edmonton Oilers, the Toronto Maple Leafs, Minnesota Wild, New York Rangers, New York Islanders, and the Buffalo Sabres. Do not let these guys walk. You know why? It's going to bite you in the ass because look what happened to Edmonton. The Edmonton Oilers last year, they were winners of the Pacific Division and the winners of the Western Conference, but they lost in the Stanley Cup Finals. And losing those two young guys for somewhat like upgrade of veteran depth that's barely helping them with so many minuses. I mean, you lose Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg, and the Blues are in a historic, nostalgic sequel run of 6 years ago. What the hell? Don't do it, Edmonton. Don't do it, Toronto. Don't do it, Minnesota. New York Rangers, Islanders, and Sabres. Do not let your guys walk. You guys got to give them a perfect offer sheet. Make sure you get them signing on the dotted line. All right. So, Evan Bouchard, make sure you stay in Edmonton. You're a top bona fide defenseman for the Oilers. Matthew Nyes, you better stay in Toronto. Marco Rossi, you've blossomed, after a few years of, having illnesses and struggling to develop, and you made a nice bounce back season. Do not walk away. And Marco Rossi this year, 23 goals, 33 assists, 56 points, career high. Don't walk away. Don't leave. Then you get the Rangers, Will Cooley and Keandre Miller. You know, the Rangers, you better not let those two walk because it's going to bite you in the ass. New York Islanders, same thing goes for you. Noah Dobson and Alexander Romanov, do not leave. It's going to haunt the Islanders. It's going to haunt you guys. Make sure you do the right thing in the Buffalo Sabres. You got JJ Peterka and Bowen Byram. Stay where you're at. Don't leave. And I'll tell you, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty when those guys leave, and it's going to bite any team, the ones who signed them, who leaves, they're going to have a better chance, and the grass is going to be greener on the other side. I mean, come on, do the right thing, do your homework. Look what happened to Edmonton this past season, losing two young guys, and they are making immediate successful results, impact, just unbelievable for the St. Louis Blues. Lesson learned to all you guys out there who are getting these offer sheets. Make sure you stay with those teams. Do not leave because it's going to bite the other team in the ass. But what do I know? Go ahead. I think it'll be funny and it'll be a lesson learned because do teams learn? Do players learn? Yes and no. There's a balance between them, all right? There is a balance in between them. Oh, yeah. Now let's get down to more business, shall we? Okay. Former first round pick of the Vegas Golden Knights, Eric Brandstrom, he is officially leaving the NHL after 6 underwhelming seasons in the NHL. Former first round pick of the Vegas Golden Knights. Very underwhelming indeed. It's a darn shame. Looking at his numbers, it's just a darn shame, 244 games, 51 points, and Brandstrom is officially going to be playing in the Swiss League, playing the SE Bern on a multi-year contract extension. He was supposed to be the next Erik Karlsson, but he never found his way, never found his game, and it just comes to show that sometimes players know how to adapt. Some players don't know how to adapt, it's all about culture and basically, the culture type of thing. Oh, yeah. So he was a former first round pick by Vegas, 15th overall back in 2017. And good luck to you overseas. And the Montreal Canadiens signed elite goaltending prospect Jacob Fowler to a 3-year deal. His contract begins next season. He's got an amateur tryout with Laval Rockets for the rest of the season. And the Red Wings, they have a very difficult negotiation when it comes to the goaltending realm. All right. So the Red Wings and Alex Lyon, and you got Cam Talbot too. I mean, it's basically, I don't see Alex Lyon staying in Detroit. He did everything he could. I got this prediction right here. Alex Lyon, he is going to have a nice roar next season. I wouldn't be surprised he comes back to the Florida Panthers. He is definitely a Panther. And, we know Mrazek and Talbot are going to be the 1-2 in Detroit next season since Sebastian Cossa is still in the minors developing. And Trey Augustine, he is staying at Michigan State for another year. But I'm telling you, Alex Lyon is definitely going to go back to the Florida Panthers next season. And looking at the Seattle Kraken, they got to do something because I don't see this as a rebuild. I give it one more, maybe 2 more years. You got $20 million of cap space, and you got a lot of draft picks in the next 3 drafts. And this Seattle team, remember a couple years ago, you took Dallas to 7 games in the second round of the playoffs, and you took a couple steps back. But you got upgraded with Chandler Stevenson and Brandon Montour. But I gotta tell you, Seattle, you got a lot of great young guys, Capo Caco, Shane Wright, Eli Elliott Donovan. I'd say this is going to be a make or break next season. And, you know, Seattle is a team that has a lot of potential. It was a lot of frustration this year. You shipped out Yanni Gore, you traded Brand Tanev, but they've got a lot of good young pieces. And I believe the Seattle Kraken, you know, I gotta say Dan Bielema, I gotta say I think he's got one more season as the Kraken coach. I mean, Dan Bielema, don't forget, 2 consecutive years, he went to the Calder Cup Finals with Coachella Valley. He's won a Stanley Cup with the Pittsburgh Penguins. I believe he's got another season, but I say it might be over, if he doesn't turn this ship around. And I don't know why they got rid of Dave Haxtell. Dave Haxtell did a great job, and I thought it was just a panic move. And I would have thought, Haxtell should have stayed another year. you know, I didn't think he was the problem. No, no. I think there was just a panic move that was a regrettable press the button panic. It was a very regrettable move. All right. So going back to Anthony Duclair. So he's not a fit with the New York Islanders. So we got some interesting teams in mind. So it's the Minnesota Wild, the Winnipeg Jets, and the Columbus Blue Jackets. It was a nasty, nasty feud between Patrick Waugh and Anthony Duclair. I mean, don't forget, several years ago, 58 points for Anthony Duclair. And don't forget, he's been having some he had his groin tear and also his Achilles. It's I just think once his contract is up, I think Duke is going to be gone in the NHL. He's got an All-Star appearance at least, but I just think Anthony Duclair's days in the NHL, they're over. They are straight up over. And like I said, this is going to be Ovechkin night watch. And can Ovechkin make history tonight? And he's playing Chicago, and he's playing against a highly touted, former, lottery pick, Spencer Knight. I got a feeling Ovi's going to get one or two tonight, or maybe a hat trick. And like I said earlier, make sure it's an iconic way to celebrate. Don't score on an empty net. It will ruin the ceremonies and the celebration. Make a complicating goal or make something special. Break through the net, break a pane of glass, break the water bottle, break someone's equipment with your shot. Ovi, come on. You know it's going to happen, and I know it's going to happen. All right. So don't forget, we got another episode tomorrow. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, TikTok, Instagram, etc. This has been 2 Minutes in the Box with Gordo. Have a great Friday.